There we go. There we go. We are live. Yes. All right. All right. I am streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. If you're new to Andrew's Football, or basically if you're new to my Twitch stream, I've never used Twitch before. So this is new for me. If you're new to this channel, I'm Daniel Andrews. I'm owner and creator of AndrewsFootball.com. Welcome to my live stream. I talk all things football, but basically live stream, anything goes. Anything goes. If you're watching this for the first time, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up. Man, I'm jacked up today. I am jacked up. If you're taking a look at this, it says askandrewsfootball@yahoo.com. All my picks are free from now till the end of the year, but take advantage of my knowledge now. I'm halfway tempted. I got my phone here. I'm halfway tempted to do another parlay because I would have nailed last week. I went 3 out of 4 last week, but my 3-game parlay would have hit. All right, my 3-game parlay would have hit. And the 4 games I like, San Francisco at the Saints. Saints are a 2.5-point favorite. I like the Saints. Carolina at Atlanta was 3 when I made my video yesterday. It's now 3.5-point dog. Anytime a head coach gets fired, usually the team plays better. They're on the road. That's probably the game I like the least because Atlanta's been playing better. They get their first-round pick, Lindstrom. I don't know if he's going to play or not, but he's healthy. And then they also have Austin Hooper, a really good tight end. I think he's going to go to a Pro Bowl this year. He's coming back, but that's probably the game I like the least. Pittsburgh and Arizona Pittsburgh was a 3-point favorite. If I am correct, and I'm going to double check this, it dropped all the way to 2. So people are liking Arizona. I'm not sure why. I'm going to double check. Yeah. Pittsburgh's now a 2-point favorite. I'm going to adjust this on my notes. So yeah, it's now a 2-point game. So, and then Seattle and the Rams is a pick 'em. It's in LA. It's on Sunday night. So the good part is, let's say I put some action down. I have till Sunday night to go ahead for the big game. As being a longtime Chiefs fan, and for those of you who don't know, I got 10.5 betting units. The standard betting unit is $100. I'm not saying I have $1,000 on the Chiefs winning over 10.5 games, but I do have 10.5 betting units. I'm sorry, 10 betting units on the Chiefs winning $100. So, I messed that up. Okay, 10 betting units on over 10.5 wins. Let's get that right. What that means is that I can get 1 loss in the next 4 games, and I do think the Chiefs are going to lose. Of course, I'm going to be cheering for Kansas City. I mean, I'm a diehard, so, but anyway. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you're watching this on Twitch for the first time, go to my YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe. My channel is scientifically proven to make all your wildest dreams come true. And then obviously don't forget to give me a thumbs up because I'm doing a great job here. So again, I'm halfway tempted. I got the app on my phone. I'm halfway tempted to make the trip to Iowa to put a 3-game parlay down on Saints, Steelers, and then Seattle. Welcome Argo, first comment of the night. Brat the refs and Pats. I'm gonna level with you. I think the Patriots match up really, really well with Kansas City because here's what they did in the offseason is they said who's the biggest threat to get to the Super Bowl, and it's Kansas City with an offense that throws the football around. So they won Pride 40. Welcome. Man, it is going fantastic. I'm going to see here. Okay, yeah, I can show this. All right, cool. All right, I'm using my old streaming service. So you know what, Argo? I like the Saints here. I like the Saints. I think the Saints are a better team. They're at home, but man, I'm going to tell you something. The great thing about this channel is that even if we disagree, this is a forum. This is an open forum. I like the Saints. I've been saying I think the Saints are the best team in the NFC, but I will say this. I think San Francisco's defense, I do think that San Francisco's defense is better, but I think that offensively the Saints are a superior team. It's hard to win in New Orleans, but hey, man, good luck to you. I haven't decided if I'm going to make the trip to Iowa yet, but if I do, I do like the Saints in 2.5. They do need to cover 2.5. Do you have 20 just straight up, if you don't mind? I mean, I'm going to drink some coffee. I am super jacked up. I shouldn't be drinking coffee. Will Patty Mahomes ball tomorrow? It'll be interesting because New England's defense is designed. Here's Argo telling you, yep. New England's offense is designed to counter what the Chiefs do best. Really, I do think he's going to have a good game. I don't think he's going to have one of those 350 and 4 touchdown games against this defense. The key is actually can the Chiefs run the ball on this defense, and can the defense make enough plays? Special teams is going to be huge. I do expect New England to win, but of course I'm going to cheer for Kansas City. But I think this is the last game of the regular season the Chiefs lose. But after this, they should just blow through the rest of the AFC West. Plus they have a game at home against Chicago, who's looking better. But Argo, you're 100% correct. We're not going to get a break on the calls in New England. A lot of Chiefs fans complained that we didn't get breaks last year at home during the AFC Championship game. But I knew right away when the Patriots ran the ball right down our throat. In order to beat New England, they can't run the ball. All right. Now, Brady is a first ballot Hall of Famer. All right. Maybe the greatest quarterback of all time. That's, of course, debatable. But the way to stop the Patriots is you make him throw the ball, then you make him uncomfortable. All right. He's Mahomes or Brady here, One Pride 40. Don't forget, everybody, give me a thumbs up. You can give me a thumbs down if you want. If I'm doing a shitty job, let me know. So let me know. So which one's on your fantasy team? And yes, he is going to have some trick plays ready in the playoffs. Now, I don't know if they're going to play. Okay, One Pride 40's got Mahomes. That's a tough matchup. He's going to have some yards, maybe a touchdown or two. Not going to have a 350 and 4 touchdown performance. However, in the next couple of games, watch out because the Chiefs are healthy. So he is sandbagging a little bit, Argo. He may have some trick plays designed for this game. He's going to have some trick plays designed when Matt Nagy and the Bears come to town. And you're 100% right here. Thing is, you got to stop the run. You got to stop the run. The Patriots ran for, I think it was 173. It was over 170. I don't remember if it was 173 or 176 in the AFC Championship game. They run for over 150. We're going to lose this game. All right? Plain and simple. Frank Clark does need to have a good game. Thornhill is looking good. I will say this. I still think we should have took DK Metcalf. Do you think we should have took so I will say that. One Pride 40. The Lions, to tell you the truth, I can't answer that because I don't know what they're going to do in the offseason. If Patricia goes, how are they going to change? Are they going to bring a coach who wants to bring in a new defense? If Patricia stays, Matt Juden's an excellent fit. I don't know if he stays or not. Golden Rooster, what is up, brother? Hey, guys, don't forget. I know I said this like 3 times already, but don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down if you want. I'm streaming for the first time on Twitch. First time really using Twitch, something new. It's a gaming service. I'm trying to get Andrews Football expanded, trying to get a bunch of people in that wants to talk football. You know, that's basically it. It's a thing. I'm going to tell you something. I don't follow any other sport except football. So And you know what? I touched base on this. I don't know if you watched my last video or not, but I think Jason Garrett is going to be gone. I still think Dallas wins the East. They're probably going to play either San Francisco or Seattle. I mean, not probably, almost definitely. Outside chance they play the loser of the NFC North. But more than likely, more than likely, he's going to play a tough San Francisco team. Since I've been saying Seattle's going to win the West, let's stick with that. Dallas in that wild card game is going to play either San Francisco or Seattle. They're going to lose, and they could lose big. And after a home playoff loss, Garrett will be gone. So yeah, 100% correct. Hardman, one reason, now don't forget, Argo, they drafted Hardman because they thought Tyreek Hill was gone. So he was going to replace Tyreek Hill. If they knew that Tyreek Hill was going to be absolved, then they would have probably gone DK Metcalf here, because Sammy Watkins after the year is going to be gone. And but Andy Reid can use both of these players, Tyreek Hill and Miracle Hardman. Miracle Hardman is playing a little more than I expected as a rookie, but I really think that instead of Thornhill or Hardman, I would have rather had DK Metcalf. One Pride 40, there's an article. I understand. Bottom line, he's got 4 games. He's on the hot seat. He's 100% on the hot seat. How do I like Drew Lock? I love Drew Lock. Me and him went to the same high school. Believe it or not, me and Drew Lock went to the same high school. He's the future for Denver, and I think Denver and the Raiders going into 2020 are really just skyrocketing up. And both these teams are going to be really, really better in 2020. The Raiders, of course, have their new stadium in Vegas. I think it's ready to go by 2020. And then their defensive line is all young players. That defensive line is going to be a monster. The question is, does the defensive coordinator stay? And I'm drawing a blank on his name. I know he was in Cincinnati for a long time, and I'm embarrassed that I forgot his name. But he's hey, Golden Rooster. You know, it's funny. Golden Rooster. I'm gonna get to a lot of the comments here. I actually took Krav Maga with one of the linebackers from Wyoming, one of his college teammates, and he talked about Josh Allen when this was when Josh Allen was a senior at Wyoming, and I'm a huge fan of Josh Allen. Still a guy with the most upside of anybody in the NFL. However, I think he's a liability in the playoffs against a good team, even against a team like Kansas City doesn't have a great defense. I could see a Bills-Chiefs matchup. The question for Kansas City is going to win the West. Are they going to be the 3 seed or the 4 seed? The 4 seed will play the Bills. All right. Will the Cowboys? The rumor mill is One Pride 40 that I can't. This second name I've already forgot. I am so embarrassed about this. The offensive coordinator, he was the quarterback's coach. He was the quarterback, played at Boise State, and I am just drawn. The rumor mill is the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys is going to take over as head coach, and I am drawing a complete blank. I am so sorry about this. I played at Boise State. Anyway, I'm drawing a complete blank, man. Drawing a complete blank on his name right now. Not getting off to a good start here. Do I need more coffee? Yeah, I can't remember his name, but the rumor mill is that he was brought on in the offseason to take over. This is a guy who's going to be a head coach, and it's just driving me nuts here. I can't believe I can't remember his name. I am embarrassed about this. I am so embarrassed about this. I can't believe I can't remember his name. Kellen Moore. Why couldn't I remember Kellen Moore? The rumor mill is Kellen Moore is going to be the coach. He's just going to be promoted from offensive coordinator. But Riviera would be a great fit. Actually, to tell you the truth, he would do the same exact defense. The defense wouldn't change at all. I think that would be a great fit. I don't know Riviera's relationship with the Jones family. I'll be honest, I don't see this really working. From a logic standpoint, I think it would. Riviera would do a great job. He's a defensive-minded coach, but I just don't see him being a good fit. Riviera is going to get a head coaching job. I would have said the NFL, but I watched Herm Edwards and Lovie Smith take college jobs, and they pay almost as much. And also one advantage of an NFL head coach is that you can go to a college and here's your recruiting pitch. Your recruiting pitch is, hey, I know what NFL teams are looking for. You come to my school, I'm going to coach you up, get you into the pros. So a guy like Riviera may be attractive to a college program. Maybe I'm throwing out South Carolina. I actually could see this happening. I actually could see if MU's smart, they at least interview him. They interview him. He won't be signed. This is a great question, Golden Rooster. He won't be signed until the season's over. All NFL teams are going to do is wait till the season's over. Then once the season's over, then teams will start hiring. The thing with Ron Riviera is that really it started with Sean McVay. Now teams are trying to find the next Sean McVay, a young offensive mind, and that's what's really big. The rumor mill is great college offensive minds, Lincoln Riley, and Urban Meyer's even been rumored because he mentioned interest in coaching the Cowboys, where before he said he would never coach in the pros. So let me go back, get some of these comments here. Newton's not going to be in Carolina, Golden Rooster. I can tell you that right now. I'm glad you brought this up, Argo. This is a great comment. This is going to be a fun game because the Bills actually match up really good with the Ravens. They have a very fast, super athletic front seven, and they have a middle linebacker who is just an absolute beast. If you haven't had a chance to watch the Bills yet, they got this middle linebacker. He looks like a defensive lineman. He runs like a cornerback. He is ungodly real. He's only 21. So, I mean, the ceiling is so bright for this kid. I think he's going to spy Lamar Jackson the whole game. And the key to beating the Ravens is hit Lamar Jackson and hit him early. That's what Kansas City did. I'll never forget. It was early in the first quarter. They did a design run, and Nadi just slammed him into the ground. And Michael Boyle, what is up? That's my boy, the Boyle-nator. I forgot you don't like being called Boyle-nator, but man, Mike, great to see you. Ravens, Bills. Sorry, man, I got distracted from my boy Mike. I've known Mike for like over 20 years, so I'm excited to hear from him. The Ravens, Bills. The Bills match up really good. Here's the thing with the Bills. Can you believe that the Bills have a chance for a 1 seed? I want that to stick in. The Buffalo Bills could be a freaking 1 seed if they win. And I think they match up really well with Baltimore. I think they match up really good with Baltimore. I really do. Argo, they had the 1 seed last year. I think the Chiefs could sneak in as a wild card. And here's what I'm thinking. I want them to match up with the Ravens before the Patriots in the playoffs. Right now, here's what I think is going to happen. I think the Patriots will get the 1 seed. I think the Ravens are going to get the 2 seed because I think the Ravens are going to lose 1 or 2 games. But let's say it doesn't happen. Let's say the Ravens get the 1, New England gets the 2. Kansas City, I want their second game to be against the Ravens. All right, because I think they can beat the Ravens. I really do. I would rather play the Ravens in Baltimore than New England in New England. If they're the 4 seed, they're going to play Buffalo. If they're the 3 seed, they're probably going to play Pittsburgh. That's how I have the playoffs going. I have Buffalo and Pittsburgh as my 2 wild card teams. If I'm the Chiefs with that matchup, if Baltimore's the 1 seed, I want the Chiefs to be the 4 seed, and I'll tell you why. I think the Chiefs would match up really good against Buffalo and Baltimore. Little side note: McDermott and Harbaugh, both Andy Reid assistants. Both these guys are part of the Andy Reid coaching tree. Andy Reid has had a lot of success with playing against his former assistant. So I really like those matchups. I don't fear Buffalo in the playoffs at all. If the Chiefs were the 3 seed, I would be more afraid to play Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's had Kansas City's number here at Arrowhead. So going into the playoffs, I'd rather play Buffalo than Pittsburgh. If the Chiefs are the 4 seed and Buffalo's the 1 seed, that works really good because I think we can win both those games before we go to New England. So anyway, that's kind of my opinion here. I kind of want to argue that, but you have a good point. I think quarterback. It's actually funny because both these quarterbacks are SEC quarterbacks. This is a great comment. No, I don't want to see Titans either. Titans have had our number, and it's weird because we've had them beat both times, but they've had their number. Riviera to MU. I thought about that, and I think that would be a good spot because he would be able to recruit at MU. The problem with MU is that you're in the Southeast Conference, and you're trying to get kids from Texas to lose to SEC schools. It's a real recruiting battle because if you're in Missouri, your number one recruiting trail is in Texas, and it's really hard to get kids from Texas to want to play against Alabama and Auburn because you're going to lose. So, being in the SEC, and just this little side note here, why is MU in the SEC East? Is that the dumbest thing you've ever heard of? They're in the SEC East. Anyway, they need somebody, a guy like Riviera. They need to get a big head coach who can recruit. Riviera would be perfect, but you have to pay him. One Pride 40 has a great point. This would be a much better spot for Ron Riviera because he could go there. And not only that, if Harbaugh stays at Michigan, I would love to see a Riviera, Harbaugh. Both these guys, you know what? I may be lying to you. I think these guys played together. In Chicago. These guys were Bears at the same time. I may be lying about that. I think Riviera was still at the Bears when Harbaugh was there. I could be wrong. I don't remember that. One Pride 40, I will say this. If Riviera is willing to be a coordinator for a year or two, he would be a world-class coordinator. I think that with his experience, he's going to take a head coaching job. Because Herm Edwards had success at Arizona State and Lovie Smith starting to have success at Illinois, I'm not ruling out that he could go to the college ranks. Is there a Power 5 program that could use a guy like him? MU and Michigan State are two really good options for him. But what NFL teams are going to be available? Which teams are going to look for coaches? I think Detroit with Matt Patricia, he's on the hot seat. I don't think that they would go with the defensive guy. I think that they would go with an offensive guy. They could be looking to blow their roster up. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see what Detroit does. Atlanta, of course, Dan Quinn's going to be gone. Jason Garrett, I think, is going to be gone. Who are the other ones? There's talk about Freddie Kitchens being gone. Ron Riviera, to be honest, would do a lot better in Cleveland. That would be a perfect spot for him. I keep hearing talk about Riviera being gone. Zach Taylor, the coach of Cincinnati, if he only wins one game, then, who knows? Mike brings up a good point. Chiefs beat Patriots, get the 2 seed. Who do they play? If that's how it works, they would play the Patriots. If that works out, and I'm going to tell you why. The Patriots, now they would have to lose another game. Okay. The Chiefs are only 2 games behind New England. So even if they won against New England would still have to have another loss. But let's just say the Chiefs have the 2 seed. Baltimore has the 1 seed. New England would get the 3 seed, and then New England would come to Arrowhead. And I wouldn't want to see that. Even you know what? If the Chiefs did get a bye and New England got the 3 seed, the Chiefs should prepare to play New England. But because New England would probably play Pittsburgh, they would win that game. They would win that game. And I was going on a rant, Argo, the money. Are you talking about Ron Riviera and where he wants to go? Coaches, I kind of went on a rant all over the place, but I am tempted. William Hill Casino in Iowa has a program where you go ahead and if you deposit a minimum of $50, they give you a $50 match. So they got a $50 match. So I have $50 in the William Hill account. I was thinking about using half of that on a 3-game parlay. The games I like the Saints covering 2.5. Who was it that had Argo? Hey man, I'm sorry, Argo. We would disagree, but that's okay. And Argo, if I don't make this, I'm 100% pulling for you. But I do like the Saints covering 2.5. I like Carolina as a 3.5-point dog at Atlanta. Usually a team, when they fire a head coach, usually does pretty well. But look at Bill Callahan. He was fired, and then they won the next game against Miami. Pittsburgh at Arizona. Pittsburgh was a 3-point favorite. Now they're 2. I love that game. That's my number one game. And then Seattle at the Rams. Seattle's a pick. I absolutely love that game. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Argo. Missouri is in the SEC. Did I say something different? Here's why. And when MU first went to the SEC, I'm like, okay, they're going to be good for like a year or two because they got some talent, but it is almost impossible to recruit. All right. The key for any Big 12, and let's just call MU a Big 12 school just for fun. You got to recruit in Texas. All right. You have to recruit in Texas. You have to draw from Texas. All right. Getting a Texas kid to travel north to MU is tough enough on its own. All right. Columbia is not a bad town, but if you're like from Austin or Dallas or Houston, that's a tough sell. You have to sell kids on cold and snow. All right. Then you have to say, hey, we're going to play Alabama and Auburn because they play in the SEC East. All right. Do you have a good enough team to compete against the SEC schools? Well, you did in year 1, 2. Now you don't. If I was MU, I know that they went to the SEC to make more money. I would try to go back to the Big 12. But anyway, that's just me. Touch base on this here. One Pride 40. Excuse me here. Rex Ryan would be a perfect fit. Rex Ryan would not take a job as a defensive coordinator, but I think he would love to be a head coach, and I think Detroit would be a perfect spot for him. He would bring a lot of excitement. The problem is the offense is. Would you be able to keep? Would you be able to keep? Was it Lanahan? Is that your offensive coordinator? You got to keep the same offense, and you got to have them just stay away from the offense. Just give great press conferences, just give great speeches, and work with that defense, which is garbage. The defense that he wants to run and what Matt Patricia runs is a little different, but uses a lot of same personnel. They do run the stereotypical 3-4 defense, but Rex Ryan wants more man coverage, which I know Patricia wants, but when I look at a Patricia defense, I think he wants to be a little more confusing where Rex Ryan just says, hey, look, we're going to do pretty much the same thing. We're just going to blitz a lot. So okay. Anytime a head coach gets changed, a coordinator gets changed, you change the defense, even if it's just terminology changes. So there would be changes made if Rex Ryan takes over. There wouldn't be wide stream changes. Okay. You wouldn't have to revamp your front seven, which they had to do when Caldwell left or when Caldwell was fired, because the Caldwell firing and Matt Patricia coming in, you need a whole new front seven. You don't need that, but it would be a change, just a minor one. Rex Ryan, he wants to blitz more, or Patricia just wants more versatility and confusion. So there would be some changes, but you wouldn't have to do widespread changes. You would need to get some outside linebackers, some guys that more attack. You would have to spend some money in free agency. That's another thing, is that you need corners. And whether you're playing in a Rex Ryan scheme or Patricia scheme, you need man corners. I strongly advise against rookies. The reason why is that teaching a rookie to play man defense in the NFL, in the NFC North, that's not smart. Spend money and get yourself some man corners. That would be the number one thing you do in free agency. If you're going with Rex Ryan, or if you stay with Matt Patricia, get somebody else who wants to coach a zone scheme. Bring in some rookie corners. How does Indianapolis end up? And I'll bet the Luck retirement really is not bad, because Jacoby Brissett's a good quarterback. You're not paying him as much. I said this when it first happened, and I'm going to stand by it. I think Luck comes back. I think Luck's going to come back to the NFL. I got 2021. I think he's going to spend next year watching the NFL, and I think he's going to say, I'm better than at least 20 of these guys. And he is. And I think he comes back. I'm not 100% sure that he has to come back to Indianapolis. I don't know the specifics, but Jacoby Brissett's a pretty damn good quarterback. It did affect Indianapolis, but Indianapolis is I'm sorry. I'm seeing the comments here. I got some great comments from probably 40. Hey man, thanks, brother. They're building something really good. So anyway, I'm gonna get to see. He's cracking me up. All right, here's his comments here. What will Detroit is missing the biggest part? You know what that is, Andrews football. In my opinion, what they're missing is some pass rush. That's my opinion, because I watched Mitchell Trubisky. Now he played pretty good too, but he had, 29 out of 38 for 338. The problem is with Detroit is all about the defensive front, and you brought in a guy who's supposed to be an expert on that. Then you gave Trey Flowers all that money, and I loved that signing. I can't tell you how much I thought Trey Flowers going to Detroit was just going to be awesome. He's been banged up and he's had some injuries, but they need to fix that defensive front. That's why if they don't look good in their next 4 games, and specifically the defense continues to look this bad, that's why I could see him going. You could promote Bevel. I'm sorry, I forgot the offensive coordinator. You could promote Bevel. You could bring in a guy. I think Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator for the Saints, is going to get a look from a lot of people. I think he's a great idea if you're looking for a coach. Yeah. I can't really comment on the Calvin Johnson thing. Now, keep in mind, Calvin Johnson had that 8-year, like $130 million contract at the time. It was like some sort of crazy contract. So he had to give some money back because the bonus, I think, was prorated out through the long thing. They gave him that just ridiculous contract because they wanted to keep him in Detroit for a long time. Calvin Johnson, I think, even though he put up some great numbers, could have done even more. I loved Calvin Johnson. I remember watching him at Georgia Tech and just not understanding how inhuman this guy could be. I was told that he had he claims that he almost had a concussion like every single game. And if that's the case, that I feel bad for the dude, because I ended up I was involved in a situation. I'm not going to give details, but I had a concussion this summer. It was really bad. And I have kind of newfound respect for players when they have a concussion, what that really means, because it was bad. Like, I walked into the bedroom and I was all confused and didn't know where I was. And it was like, it was really a very panic-stricken feeling when you have one of these concussions, and you keep getting them. If you don't know, once you get a concussion that first time, it's so much easier to get a second one. So the thing with Calvin Johnson was really, really bad because apparently he said he some games he had like 2 or 3 concussions. So, yeah, it was a goofy contract. I thought it was strange, but they loved Calvin Johnson. So, I mean, I understand the logic. And it also, they were trying to say, hey, look, if you're a great player, come to Detroit, we'll take good care of you, but end up not being good for the Lions because they were kind of hamstrung by it, ended up not being a good deal. So that's the problem is a lot of people are trying to talk on. So there's some idiots on social media. People are talking about trying to get Pat Mahomes to sign a 10-year deal. And there's no way in hell he's going to sign a 10-year deal. He'll sign a short deal because once that's over, then they'll give him a bigger contract. Okay. I'll talk about this here for a little bit. This is a real. Actually, let me go back here, and I want to. This is a great point, Golden Rooster. I'm going to get in more detail here. Exactly, and you don't really have great pass rushers. I know a lot of people are talking about Chase Young, the Ohio State player, who I think is going to go number 2. Joe Burrow's probably going to go number 1, but yeah, there's no way the Lions get Chase Young. It's impossible. To get up there. But yeah, you need pass rushers. Once you get that settled, you can work around everything else. If you hire Rex Ryan, you'll need to spend money on corners and pass rushers. And I don't know how you do that. If you stick with Matt Patricia, you'll need to spend money on corners. And then it'll be kind of interesting to see what he does. I also think the offseason quarterback situation is interesting. You stick with Stafford. I hope you do because I'm a bigger fan in Stafford than most. But if he doesn't play the last 5 games of the year, he's due a lot of money. I have to do some more research on that. Okay, I want to touch base on this because a lot of NFL players have been saying that not marijuana itself, but that CBD or THC pills, those are better than painkillers because painkillers are extremely addictive. All right. I mean, it's funny because the NFL say don't smoke that joint. That's terrible. But here's a bottle of highly addictive OxyContin. Neither is a good thing. I'm going to say this. I understand the benefits of marijuana from a government standpoint. I understand NFL players using marijuana because it's better for you than OxyContin and the other painkillers. However, I'm not a fan of marijuana. I do understand that you can tax it and it's good for the government. This one guy just started working with said that California got out of its state debt, which I don't believe. I'm not an advocate of marijuana, but I think it's going to be legal nationwide. As far as NFL players, would I rather them take that THC oil or that CBD treatment than OxyContin and painkillers? Yes, I would. It's less addictive and side effects, as we know, aren't as extensive. But I do know that OxyContin stuff is really, really bad. All right, I had an issue. For those of you, I talked about this briefly. I was involved in a motorcycle accident, and I kind of got a minor addiction to painkillers. It was funny because people kept on telling me, "You're acting different. You need to get off painkillers." And then finally, I got into it with a buddy of mine, and I said, "What are you talking about? I only took 10 today." And then the light bulb went off in my head that I was really hooked on them. And I had multiple people coming up to me because I didn't realize my personality changed so much. But the painkillers were highly addictive, and I didn't even realize it. Neither is good. One Pride 40, neither's good. And Golden Rooster, you're 100% correct. I don't remember the painkillers that I was on, but Multiple people came up and told me my personality changed, that I was different, and I was convinced I needed them. I was still on crutches at the time. And then once I realized I was taking 10 a day, then I kind of weaned myself off. And it was really weird because I could have sworn that my body needed the painkillers. I really thought that I was experiencing pain unless I took the painkillers. But once you took the painkillers away, I didn't really feel pain anymore. It was kind of a trick. Highly addictive. And it's bad. I was watching some story on Netflix about somebody who was hooked on Oxycontin after a back injury, so he switched to heroin. Now him and some girl are crackheads living in like an abandoned shack in Baltimore. Baltimore's like the heroin capital of the world, unfortunately. Listen, the Clemson linebacker. Ooh, God. Okay. There is a lot of players. I want to see how they do on the combine. I just got done watching Baylor, Oklahoma, that CD Lamb. How does he do at the combine? Because if he comes in like 6'1", 190, runs a 4.55, he's not going to be a first-round pick. But he looks like he's going to be 6'3", 210. If he runs under a 4.4, he's going to go top 10. The combine makes the world of difference. Matter of fact, One Pride 40, the linebacker that you got in the 7th round, the kid from Georgia, and he's got a weird last name. He went to the combine. He was going to be like a first, second, or third round pick and ran like a 5 flat. And he went all the way in the 7th round. I think he's on IR for you guys. But the 7th round tight end you got, he would have gone 4 or 5 rounds earlier if he did good in the combine. I want to wait till the combine. Then I'm going to start doing mock drafts. And when we do live stream, when I do my videos, we're going to talk a ton of players. But these guys got to test, and do they interview well? A matter of fact, let's look at Shaquille. I'm butchering the first name. Polite. He was going to be a first round pick. He went to the combine, had a bad combine. Isaac. Yeah. Well, he's a tight end. I don't think that's his name, but bottom line, the combine affects you. Okay. That Polite kid, he had a bad combine, backed it up with just bombing interviews, ended up getting drafted in the 3rd round by Jets and got cut. But the interviews were key because he bombed the interviews. He was attacking coaches. He did the, it's not me. And basically went from a guy who was going to be a top 20 pick. I think the Jets took him late in the 3rd round, then they cut him. And the combine showed the same thing, that apparently I'm guessing he got cut because he wasn't able to take criticism well, didn't know his assignments. And how you do on the interview is almost as important as how you do on the field. The combine is huge. Ibuprofen, I don't think that's quite as addictive as like Oxycontin and things like this, like this Percocet. I think that's what actually I was on. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but there's a lot of like bad painkillers and terrible, terrible side effects. It's Isaac something, One Pride 40. Lions need help a lot of spaces on defense. But one thing I will tell you is that I won't release them. You know what? Just for fun, I might do a pre-combine draft. But I'm really going to dive into the draft after the combine. This is going to be I'm paying attention to wide receiver because I think that from a Chiefs standpoint, Sammy Watkins is going to be gone after the year. DeMarcus Robinson wants some big money. So I'm going to kind of pay attention to wide receivers. I think the Chiefs could draft somebody, but that CD Lamb I watched play against Baylor, with a good combine, he's going to go top 10. He looks like a man among scouting 101. If you can find a guy who looks like a grown man playing with kids, and it doesn't matter at any position, that's the guy you take. Burrow, he's going to win the Heisman. I think that's pretty much just a clean bet. Jake Fromm, the Georgia quarterback, if he's smart, he stays back in school, but Some agent may be like, hey, you're going in the first round. He looks like somebody who's just not ready to play in pros. Matter of fact, I said the same thing after watching Jordan Love, the Utah State kid. The same thing about the Oregon kid can't stay. The Washington quarterback, John Great. God, I'm bad with names today. Cowboys or Eagles? Mike, this is a great question. I've been sticking with the Cowboys. I think they play each other in, I think, 2 weeks, and the winner of that game, it's in Dallas, if I'm correct. I'm guessing, but I like the Cowboys to win the East. The thing is, though, is that whoever wins that division is going to lose in a wild card either to a San Francisco or a Seattle team, and it's going to be a tough loss. I think it'll cost the Cowboys coach their job. The Eagles coach, since he just won Super Bowl a couple years ago, he's kind of untouchable right now, but I'm a little confused on why the defenses look so bad for the Eagles. Matter of fact, I could have sworn here somebody mentioned something about Jim Schwartz. Because this was a good one. Schwartz would be he wouldn't be a bad college coach. He wouldn't be a bad college coach. I bring that up because when Herm Edwards took over as the Arizona State coach, I was just floored because number one, he's been out of coaching and he's done such a great job on TV. But he had no college experience. They end up beating Oregon. They're in a bowl game. And there is some young freshmen there that are going to be good. They have this left tackle. If he stays all 4 years, he's going to be a first-round pick. If he leaves after his junior year, which is definitely a possibility, he may go second or third round, but he's an NFL player. They got true freshman quarterback who's setting all sorts of passing records, which is funny because it's a Herm Edwards offense. But they're throwing the ball around. They play pretty good defense. He's actually doing some really good stuff, and I like what he's doing. He also brought in the former Bengals coach as an assistant. Man, I'm drawing a blank on names today. I am sorry, man. There's like 9 names I just forgot. Marvin Lewis. All right, so but he brought in Marvin Lewis. Marvin Lewis may go back to the pros. He may be happy in there with Herm just as a special assistant. I can't speak for people, but Brian Schottenheimer, it's kind of funny. He went from the pros, then he went back to college as a coordinator. Now he's with Seattle, and he could be a dark horse head coach candidate if you like Seattle's offense. All right, Nate, listen, I haven't said this in a while. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Yeah, listen, if you don't feel like I've done a good job, you think I suck, whatever, give me a thumbs down. That's okay. But if you haven't already, if you're watching this for the first time, go to my YouTube channel. It's Andrews Football, all one word. I'm the guy in the cowboy hat. Subscribe. It's scientifically proven to make all your wildest dreams come true. Oh, boy. Had some foods disagreeing with me. All right. 2 other games I want to talk about that are good action games, okay? Hey, Mike, I know if you're still watching this, and I hope you are. First of all, thanks for watching. For those of you who don't know, I've known the Boyle Nader here for over 20 years. He's a great friend. It's been a very, very long time since I've seen him. Great guy. Think the world of him. I know you're not putting action down on games, but there's lots of people that are. I try to help people out like a financial advisor. I got 10 units on the Chiefs over 10.5 wins. I had 21 betting units on the Chiefs week 1 victory over Jacksonville. I made a video of me in Las Vegas winning that money. I think that what you do is if you know something very well, whether it's stock market, commodities, currency, make some money off of it. You can make money off of my football knowledge. I'm halfway tempted to make the trip to Iowa. It's about from here. It's about 2.5 hour drive. I'm putting a parlay down on Saints, Steelers, and Seahawks. I got $50 credit from William Hill Casino in Iowa. So But two other games I want to talk about that I kind of like, but I'm not going to put action down is Denver in 9 is a 9-point dog at Houston. I know they got Drew Lock, a rookie quarterback, and I'm scared to put action down on a rookie quarterback against a Romeo Crennel defense. But the Broncos have a really good defense, and they have a strong running game. And even though Houston's been playing really well, their defense isn't the same, especially without J.J. Watt. So I could see this being a closer game. I think something like Denver, like 4 or 5 of Denver's losses, they've had the lead going into the fourth quarter. I think like almost every single game they've been close in. But that's a really a good game. I don't see Denver winning that game. Another thing about Houston is after beating the Patriots, are they going to kind of not take Denver as serious? And they probably should. Von Miller's for real. Von Miller is still one of the, best 5 or 10 defenders in football, defensive players. He's that good. He really is. Von Miller is still a wrecking crew. And one weakness of the Houston Texans is their offensive line. So, by the way, if you're new to this channel, I am streaming for the very first time on Twitch. I've never used Twitch before. So this is something completely new and completely different. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the experience here. I'm just kind of looking over at it. Very excited about trying to use Twitch and some other different things to try to get Andrews football out there to more people. But I do like this game quite a bit. I don't see Denver winning, but I could definitely see Denver making this a close game. Remember they're up 20-0 against Minnesota. And, there's some good things about Denver Broncos. I don't think Houston can cover 9. And I don't think they're trying to. I think Houston, realistic, this looks like a 24-17 game. That's why I like Denver. I like Denver to cover 9. I didn't say win, cover. Another game that I kind of like, Cincinnati is a 7-point dog at Cleveland. Cincinnati, did they figure out, hey, we can win games now? Hey, we can win, and Cleveland's so up and down. The problem is, I got some food that's just like, wow. I had Taco Bell last night. I had Mexican today, and oh boy, it's not agreeing with me. I know it's a little TMI. All right, Cincinnati. I'm really excited about this game. I could see them covering 7. They may win outright. This may be a team that figured out, hey, we can win. Hey, maybe we can win. So an upset pick for this weekend. Cincinnati. I can give you Cincinnati right now. I think that they are an upset pick. They could win this game. Cincinnati's got talent. The problem is that their offensive line's not very good. The new coaching staff, it's all a very, very young coaching staff. As another team that could be an upset pick, I think the line's like 9.5. I off the top of my head, I don't know, but I know you're not into the point spread. The Giants with Eli Manning starting. This could be Eli Manning's last primetime game. Division rivals. I know it's in Philly, but that would be the Giants would be a kind of an upset pick on Monday night. I'm actually kind of excited about that game. I kind of want to see what Eli Manning does. Is he a guy who's just shot, or is he a guy that still has some game left? Because here's the thing: you could realistically, if he has a great game, let's say he lights up the Eagles defense, you really could trade him. I don't know what for, but I mean, think about this. Almost every great NFL quarterback has finished his career on another team, and you can go back in time. Johnny Unitas finished with the Chargers. Joe Namath finished with the Rams. I mean, of course, Montana played here in Kansas City. Brett Favre finished with the Jets and then Minnesota. It wouldn't surprise me that Eli Manning go elsewhere. I think you have to start him, but I mean, is there a team that really, really needs a quarterback like that? So, but yeah, to answer your question, Mike, Cincinnati and the Giants, huge upset picks. Favorite NFL players all time. Boy, it's a tough one. If you go back, Johnny U in today's game, he would be unstoppable. In today's game, he would kind of be like a bigger, stronger arm Drew Brees. 100%. He would just be amazing. Bambi, Lance Allworth. For those of you who don't know, he may be the greatest receiver ever live. He was having 1,600-yard receiving seasons in a 14-game season where defensive backs were allowed to rape receivers. So, phenomenal. Players I've seen play, Barry Sanders was the most exciting player I've ever seen. Just you even if you're playing against him, you kind of held your breath and was watching something. Deion Sanders, amazing. Cortez Kennedy played defensive tackle for the Seahawks. Loved watching him play. He was just a beast. Junior Seau, I used to tell people this, and people would get mad, but it was 100% true. Better linebacker, Junior Seau, Derek Thomas, Junior Seau, 100%. Junior Seau, when he was the Chargers, one of the best middle linebackers ever seen. Ray Lewis, I think the best middle linebacker of all time. If you take in the fact that he was dominant for 20 years, was Dick Butkus a better linebacker for the 8 or 9 years he played? Probably. But when you talk about the greatest of all time, don't you get more credit for longevity? Steve Largent as a wide receiver, people won't remember what a great wide receiver he is. Put up some great numbers. I watched Largent play several times. Just amazing player. Warren Moon, another guy, just great player. Man, I'm giving you a huge list here, but players that I absolutely love, though. I love Deion Sanders. I loved Deion Sanders. I mean, every time he got the ball in his hands, whether it was an interception or a punt return or a kickoff return. This is a good one. Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson, very exciting. I want to say this, and it's not trashing Bo Jackson. He had a lot of holes in his game. He wasn't quite the all-around ball player people thought. On 3rd and short, they used to put Marcus Allen in, even though he was about 25 pounds lighter. Despite playing outfielder for the Royals, he was not a really good NFL receiver, which I could never figure out. But his highlight reel is as good as anybody. Oh, dude, I used to have a ton of NFL jerseys. It's a great story. I'm not going to go into detail. I actually have one from Andre Rison. He signed it at a strip club. And I have Larry Johnson, Tamba Ali. It's funny, the Chiefs, they gave their season ticket holders jerseys. I got Brandon Flowers, but they transposed the 24 up front. So it was 42 in the front, 24 in the back. So, but the only reason I kept it is how many people knew I had a Brandon Flowers 42 jersey. The last jersey I bought was Justin Houston. It actually got rips on the sides, which kind of frustrated me because it's expensive. But and I'm also a snob. I need the NFL jersey. All right, I don't want that cheap Walmart. Okay, just so you know, Chiefs. The Chiefs numbers are stitched. So if you get a jersey that's not stitched, and you know it's fake, I'm kind of a snob about that. But I loved my Justin Houston. After Justin Houston one, I said no more. I'm just going to wear red. So I love my jersey. I only wore them to Arrowhead. Oh yeah. Right now, Jamal Adams. I love Jamal Adams. I can say this. I love Von Miller. I know he plays for Denver, but I love Von Miller. I would love it if he was a Chief. Jamal Adams, probably my favorite. I love watching Jamal Adams. I mean, this guy, I think, just got Hall of Fame written all over him, and I think he's really going to help the Jets. The Cowboys are trying to make a trade for him, but Jets apparently wanted like a number 1 and multiple draft picks and Amari Cooper. So, it's not legal in the NFL, Mike. So as of yet, there's talks about that may change, but it's kind of funny because if you're in, Seattle or California or Colorado, you still cannot use marijuana if you're an NFL player. But I don't know if everybody knew that. I'm going to say it again because it's actually funny. Breland Speaks, who's been on IR, got busted for an illegal supplement, and he's going to be suspended 4 games. And people are like, what the hell is he doing? Well, a lot of times what players do is they take an illegal supplement to help their body recover. There's a lot of steroids that you can take that are not legal or approved by the NFL. And I don't know the specifics in there, but that was just on social media today. People are like, what's the deal? Well, he was just, my guess is he took something to try to get him to recover. Marshawn Lynch was actually pretty good in Buffalo too, but he blew up in Seattle. Adrian Peterson in his prime was as good as anybody. That his rookie season, didn't he blow up for like? It was his rookie season against the Chargers, which had a good defense at the time. He had like 290 something. I was like, oh my God. I remember at Oklahoma his freshman year, I was thinking like, I don't think there's very few running backs I've seen that good. Adrian Peterson, I hope that when he retires, people remember how great he was. He 100%, 100% belongs in the Hall of Fame. Should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. People had that thing where he was, having some issues or what have you. I don't want to get into detail, because it's kind of a sensitive subject, and I'm not educated on what specifics are. But remember he was suspended for that year, and I hope people don't judge him on that, but they judge him on what they see on the field. And one of the greatest running backs who I've ever seen, Adrian Peterson, 100%. Yeah, drinking coffee here. I have the sniffles all of a sudden. I don't get it. All right. This is a good question. This is a great question. And here's the thing about the NFL. The NFL's always done a good job going forward and tweaking things. So I think you're going to see it a lot better in 2020. It's not good. I remember Andy Reid did a challenge where it looked like the receiver was tackled and it looked like to be a no-brainer, and it wasn't overturned, cost the Chiefs timeout. Me personally, I'm getting sick of almost every single play has to be reviewed. I don't need to see that. It's funny because there is a direct correlation with all these plays. It is affecting the games because teams don't have that home field advantage. It used to be you have home field advantage, the refs kind of went your way a little bit, and it kind of made things a little more interesting from a fan standpoint. If you're a fan and you're sitting out in the cold and you got to wait 2 or 3 minutes between every single freaking play, it gets a little irritating. It gets a little irritating, especially that last game. Now, you watch my video, I wasn't cold because I know how to dress, but there was a lot of people that left early, and it's a little irritating when you're waiting for the clock to start because of a TV timeout or because they're reviewing a pass interference play. I would like to see a lot of this taken out and more of the human element put in. But when are they going to fix it? They're going to fix it. It's going to be better in 2020 than it is this year. Anytime you implement something for the first time, there's always tricks and trials, things like that. Anytime you introduce something for the first time, there's always going to be some problems. It's going to be a lot better in 2020. I would like to see a human element put more back into the game and the booth taken a little more out of the game. I would like it if they only reviewed like maybe 1 or 2 plays, a quarter. I don't know how they're going to fix it, but hopefully they will. I know that the next step that the NFL wants to do is go to a 17-game schedule, take out a preseason game, maybe even 2 preseason games. I think that's a huge mistake, but that's kind of the way things are going to go. But they are going to fix this, Mike. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be better than this year. So this year, it's first time they've done this. There's not really a blueprint on how to do it. So now once you get a blueprint, and they have one, they're like, okay, this is what it is for 2019. How can we make it better for 2020? And the NFL is really good at doing that. That when there's things that are wrong, they make changes. For example, they added the 2-point conversion, the extra point thing. Remember when it first came out, people didn't like it. I didn't like it. Now it's pretty cool because you see the extra point's not automatic anymore. It's kind of exciting. A lot of people thought that they would go more 2-point conversions. The NFL hasn't really gone that way yet. I think that there's going to be an NFL team, maybe somebody like Baltimore, for example, that's going to say, you know what, forget one. Let's just go for 2 every time. Because if you make over 50%, it's actually funny. I remember Herm Edwards saying that they didn't even have a kicker when he played in high school. They went for 2 every single time. They had no kicker, and some teams it would mess with them. Some teams had no idea how to handle it, But they went for 2 every single time, and so the NFL will improve on this, and it'll get better next year. I can't tell you the specifics, but it will happen. It'll get better, Mike. It'll get better. Mike, great to hear from you, man. Hey, listen, I'm going to wrap this up here, man. This has been a great show. It's my very first live stream on Twitch. Hopefully it's a great experience. I'm new to Twitch. Okay. I'm not really a big gamer. But I'm new to Twitch. There's some new streaming software that I installed. I couldn't figure out last time, but apparently in the future, I'm trying to get broadcast on multiple platforms. So I'm trying to get Andrews Football to expand more. One of the things I think that would help, and I'm going to do this next year every week, but I'm going to put my parlays down and let you know what I think. My parlay. And I might go to Iowa. If I do, I'll do a quick video in my car. But I would take Saints, Steelers, Seahawks. It'd just be a quarter of a betting unit, which a betting unit, standard betting unit's $100. So I would do 25, and that would pay $300. No. You know what? I'm gonna let you know. If I do it, and I'm not 100% sold on it yet, but if I do make that bet. Oh, poop. Hey, man. All right. Hold on. I'm going to end here on a – man, I appreciate Golden Rooster giving me the thumbs up, but I kind of messed up. I forgot several names, and my authentication's going slow here, but that's not on me. That's on Sprint and the William Hill site. So let's say let's do this live. Take the Saints. I have to be within the Iowa state boundaries. Take the Steelers and take the Seahawks. All right. If I'm in the Iowa State line, I can do this on my phone. I can make this wager on my phone. Let's say I do a half a betting unit, which is $50. On that 3-game parlay, $350. So it's a 7 to 1. 7 to 1 odds to hit 3 games. That's not terrible. So listen, if you're new to my channel and you haven't done it already, there's this button right down here on the side. It's supposed to say subscribe, but there's this live stream from StreamYard symbol here. You know what? You know what I'm going to say? Hey, listen, if you're new to Andrews Football, you're one of the greatest people on planet Earth. All the streams are going to come true. So hit that button. Be a subscriber. Wait till Monday. Okay, Tuesday. Man, I'm bombing here. All right, look. Tuesday, I'm going to do my review for Week 14. Friday's going to be my preview. Next Saturday, another live stream. Remember, anything goes on the live stream. Thank you very much for commenting. You guys are terrific. I'll see you next week.